They took a simple leaf and turned it into an $800 billion a year global empire. They did it by hijacking feminism, employing social shaming techniques, and engineering a natural substance to be way more addictive. And now, you pay 10 times more for it. This is the unfiltered story of how big tobacco conquered the market, by using psychological warfare to attract the non-smoking population and outlaw their only competition, the natural cigarette. Pre-1920s, smoking was a man's world. For women, smoking a cigarette was considered a social taboo. The result? Half the human population was untapped for the tobacco industry, an untouched $500 billion market. The tobacco giants didn't see a social barrier. They saw a business opportunity. Now, here's a little insight. All these multinational companies have the top people on their boards. People who understand behavioral psychology, mass psychology, etc., work as consultants for these very companies, and they get paid very good money for the same. So they hired the father of propaganda, Bernays. He understood something critical about female psychology. It's wired to jump on trends in general, especially trends that promise liberation and status. From yoga pants to selfies or lip fillers, once something becomes trendy among women, it spreads like wildfire. Bernays' masterstroke was the Torches of Freedom campaign. His playbook was simple and devastatingly effective. Step 1. Hire models and debutantes. Step 2. Stage a public smoke-in at the 1929 Easter Parade. Step 3. Tell the press it's a feminist protest for equality. Step 4. Watch it go viral, splashed across the front pages of the New York Times, Life, and Vogue. Overnight, they reframed a vice into a virtue. Smoking was a bad habit, but the tobacco companies marketed it as a symbol of freedom and liberation for women. If men can do it, so can women. They tapped directly into the rising energy of feminism and sold it back to them in a pack of 20. But there was a problem. What did people commonly smoke? For centuries, it was the hand-rolled cigarettes. It was natural, cheap, and not as addictive as the packed ones you smoke today. But most importantly, the corporations couldn't control it. So, they had to destroy it. Enter the toasting process. Lucky Strike launched an ad blitz, claiming their toasting method made tobacco less irritating to the throat. The implied message? Untoasted hand-rolled tobacco was harsh, dirty, and unsafe. They created a problem you didn't know you had, and sold you the only solution. Let's break down the real cost. A hand-rolled cigarette cost you pennies, since it's just loose tobacco and paper. But the corporate pre-roll, they charged you 10, 20 times more. They launched a three-pronged propaganda attack to make the hand-roll disgusting. First, they linked it to poverty and immigrants, calling it a peasant habit for dirty foreigners. Second, they paid doctors to lie, claiming pre-rolls with filters were cleaner and safer. But the masterstroke was Hollywood. They made sure every major star, every icon of style and sophistication, was seen smoking a Marlboro or a Camel, never a hand-roll. The hand-rolled cigarette was deemed low class. You would never see it on Marilyn Monroe's lips. The pre-rolled cigarette was glamorous. It was the only thing the stars smoked. This was the Billboard Blitz. Throughout the 30s, 40s, and 50s, over 90% of cigarette billboards featured Hollywood actresses. The hand-rolled cigarette wasn't just low class. It was un-American, as per their marketing department. The result? Hand-rolled sales collapsed. Pre-rolled cigarettes captured 95% of the market. The female smoking rate exploded from 5% in 1920 to over 40% by the 1970s. The market was captured, and the addiction was locked. While they were demonizing the natural alternative, they were secretly turning their own product into a chemical narcotic. And they didn't do it alone. They had behavioral psychologists on their boards, advising them on how to maximize habit formation and addiction. They engineered a chemical cocktail to make it impossible to quit. Let's break down the poison. Sugar, it sweetens the smoke, but its real purpose is to create bronchodilators that force you to inhale deeper. Ammonia, this is the key. It converts nicotine into its freebase form, making it hit your brain in just 7 seconds, like crack cocaine. Menthol, it numbs your throat, hiding the harshness so new smokers don't cough, making it easier to start. Humectants keeps it moist, burns hotter, leading to more carcinogens. In conclusion, modern-day cigarettes contain over 1,000 plus different chemicals added across all brands. A 1972 Philip Morris internal memo said it all. The cigarette should be conceived not as a product, but as a package of nicotine. The primary motivation is to maintain addiction. The natural cigarette couldn't compete. It was like comparing a cup of tea to a shot of heroin. They made their product more addictive on purpose, ensuring lifetime customers. With the market hooked and the competition smeared, they needed to deliver the final blow. So they went to the government, under the guise of public health. They helped write the regulations that would crush their only remaining competition, you. They lobbied for massive excise taxes on loose tobacco, making hand-rolling more expensive than buying pre-rolls. They pushed for packaging laws that made it illegal to sell loose tobacco in bulk. In Canada, roll-your-own tobacco is taxed at over 300%. The result? You're paying $200 for 200 grams of loose leaf, while a pack of 20 corporate poisons costs $15. They made freedom a crime. So, let's be clear. The truth they sold was a lie. They told you hand-rolled was dirty, when it was pure. They told you pre-rolled was clean, when it was a chemical cocktail. They created the problem, sold you the addiction, and banned the alternative. This is the playbook. It's the same one used today for every revolutionary product. They identify a psychological desire, frame their product as the solution, use influencers to make it trendy, and then use state power to regulate their competition out of existence.